illuminated in one place. See your weekly wins unfold and stay grounded with the tasks that matter most. And with real-time website activity, you'll know exactly when opportunity knocks. This is clarity. This is control. This is VoFlow. In a world of moving parts, the VoFlow dashboard brings everything into focus. Your voiceover invoices, contacts, and entire pipeline, all illuminated in one place. See your weekly wins unfold and stay grounded with the tasks that matter most. And with real-time website activity, you'll know exactly when opportunity knocks. This is clarity. This is control. This is VoFlow. In the world of voiceover, talent matters, but direction changes everything. Introducing the VoFlow Smart Business Coach, your personal guide and motivator. It studies your trends, your habits, your wins, and the opportunities you didn't even know you were missing. Then it forecasts exactly what actions will move you closer to your goals, not someday, but now. Imagine opening your dashboard and seeing a clear path forward, who to follow up with, which leads are heating up, what tasks will create the biggest momentum today, and how close you are to the future you're building. No guesswork, no overwhelm. Just simple, precise steps that show you how to grow with confidence. Because success isn't random, it's a pattern. And the VoFlow Smart Business Coach helps you see it, follow it, and own it. Your goals are closer than you think. Your roadmap is waiting. VoFlow, clarity, momentum, control. Never worry about where or how to find new voiceover clients again. VoFlow, your virtual marketing assistant, finds them for you using smart lead search technology. Search by keyword or industry and save time by using VoFlow verified emails that get delivered to the inbox that you want to reach. And with VoFlow's proprietary lead score, you can be confident you're always marketing to the right customers. VoFlow, clarity, momentum, control. Find, connect, and cultivate new client leads using VoFlow's Smart Lead Pipeline, powered by behavioral dynamic technology. More than a CRM that simply manages interactions with prospective customers, VoFlow is your marketing assistant. Easily and quickly find leads, and then let VoFlow automatically communicate with your prospect based on their behavior and how they interact with your communication and your VoFlow hosted website. When every email matters. Introducing the VoFlow Smart Email Writer. Your voice, your style, perfectly captured. It learns your tone, your rhythm, your personality. With one click, VoFlow analyzes your lead and crafts a personalized email in seconds. VoFlow gives you the power to write smarter, faster, and more authentically. VoFlow, your business amplified. In the world of voiceover, relationships are everything, but managing and cultivating those relationships, that's the hard part. Until now. Introducing VoFlow Smart Contacts, your new contact command center, where every conversation, every audition, every job is automatically connected to the right person. No logging, no spreadsheets, no "I'll update it later." It just happens. See the full history of any relationship in seconds. Email, auditions, bookings, and events. Your contacts stop feeling messy. Your follow-up gets sharper. Your business becomes clearer than ever. Leads, prospects, clients, organized exactly the way you work. You can even invoice directly from the VoFlow interface with a click of a single button. Easily track invoice payments, ensuring you get paid. Every social click, Every form submission, every website interaction, captured automatically. This isn't just a CRM, it's the brain of your VO business. VoFlow, your relationships elevated. What's happening, voiceover friends? Today's topic, VO pricing. Are you competing on price? What's up? My name's Bill Deweese. Welcome to our daily voiceover huddle. We do it every weekday at the same time just to share tips, tricks, strategies, motivation, inspiration, knowledge, anything and everything that I can pass your way to help you move further down the road of voiceover success. And we just get together for a few minutes every morning, but the conversation continues in my voiceover community, in my group, and it's absolutely free. And you can join us, and I hope you do join us today at school.com/VoFlow. School spelled SKOOL. Hope you all had a good Easter. Hope you had a wonderful Easter. It was great here. We had a house full of people. Two of my three kids were able to be here. All five of my grandkids, my daughter-in-law and her mother, and we just had a wonderful time. My wife, Vicky. I'm not going to say this is the reason I married her, but I'm going to say it didn't count against her, as her cooking is off the charts. She is such a good cook, and holidays are just super extra special. And she's one of those kind of people that, I mean, she leans into it. She loves it for days. She'll do the preparation. And if I try to help, it's like, no, leave the kitchen, get out. And she's like, that's her laboratory, and that's her thing. And it's amazing. We had a great time yesterday and again. I hope you guys did as well. Let's see here. It's a holiday weekend, so I'm trying to wrap my brain around what I need to. Oh, I was going to mention, just because, maybe this will make you feel better about yourself. And that is, my wife took off this morning with a few of her girlfriends. They're going down to Waco, Texas for a few days to check out Magnolia Farms and to do some other things. So it's a girls trip. And she's at O'Hare right now, waiting on her plane. And so this morning, the first thing I decided to do, I thought, occasionally, you guys know I like Michigan cherry coffee. I'm not a flavored coffee guy, but Michigan cherry coffee, admire, man, and that's not a sponsored announcement. I love that stuff. And so this morning, I thought I'd make myself some butter coffee, like bulletproof coffee, where you put a couple of tablespoons of butter in your coffee and you whip it up. And if it sounds gross and you like coffee, you should try it because it's amazingly good. So this morning, I make the coffee, put the butter, and then you use a little handheld mixer to mix it together. In the process of doing that, a bunch of that scalding hot coffee came out of the cup. It covered me. I jumped back, coffee flying all over me. I'm, burning my hand. Not so bad that I need medical attention. I'm fine. But all this butter coffee all over my clothes. So I had to change and get out all the stain stick and try to scrub it in my clothes and put them in the laundry. Point being, appreciate the people in your life that make things. When Vicky's around, I would have never done something like that. I don't know why or how it happened, but it did happen. And thankfully, she's only going to be gone for a few days, and hopefully the house is still standing when she gets here. Competing on price and voiceover, that's our topic for today. It's interesting because when I talk about price, I typically I raise a few eyebrows and stir up a little conversation. I've been, I'm widely criticized for some of my views on pricing because I don't hold to a firm, this is what it should be, and you need to be in line with everybody else. I think in a free market economy, that's not the way it works. But I want to talk about it because chances are you're competing on price. And if you compete on price, as I once heard said, and I think it says it so well, when you start competing on price, it's a race to the bottom. And the purpose of a business is to generate a profit, which allows us, when we're generating a profit and we can be in business, it allows us then to do the thing that we love to do and to support ourselves and our family and those we love in the process of doing that. So let's talk about that a little bit. I think the first thing to understand is that pricing, and this is the research shows this, the data shows this clearly, that pricing is not the main consideration of most people when they're searching for a voiceover talent. But yet so often, especially newer talent, behave as if it is. thinking that if I'm just cheaper than the next guy, then somebody's more likely to hire me. Well, there is a group of people that are more likely to hire you if you lower your price. But the question then becomes, are these the people that you want to work with? Because here's a principle for you. I don't know that there's a name for it, but I've seen it over and over and over again, not just in voiceover, but I think this is true in almost every area of life. Those who have the least amount of skin in the game when it comes to voiceover, and by skin, I'm talking about the money paid. In other words, if it doesn't cost them anything or much, then they will make your life more difficult. It's so interesting. The most difficult clients I've ever had, the most difficult jobs to work on, have been the jobs that have paid the least amount of money. Because the client didn't take the time to make sure the script was right, or that they had talked to their client to make sure they had everything the way it should be. And they tend, not always, but oftentimes a lower paid client will treat a job as a collaboration that should go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. When the reality is that work should be done before we're hired. And we should be given a script that's ready to record. They should know what they want. We can do it, and we can be done with it and move on. Conversely, the easiest job I ever recorded was the highest paid job by far that I've ever done. It was the Chevrolet Find New Roads campaign, and it was a 4-word tag, TV tag, Chevrolet Find New Roads. I didn't even audition for that job. Well, no, I did, but the way that I got the job was the agency reached out to me and said, Chevrolet has narrowed their search down to 2 people, and you're one of them. Well, it was 4 people. That was pretty exciting. And so I recorded. They wanted an audition from the 4 people. I gave it to them. Ends up I was picked. And guess what? It didn't even require a session. They used my audition. And they paid me tens of thousands of dollars for those 4 words. And what a contrast. But I've seen this play out over and over and over again. That generally speaking, the higher pay your client, the easier and the better they are to work with. Now, that being said, I'm not saying you should only take high paid work. So let's talk about that a little bit. First of all, again, as I mentioned, pricing is not the main consideration for clients. So don't act as if it is. Don't think that the only way for you to get work is to race to the bottom with pricing, because that is not the way it works. Now, I've talked about this many times, and if you've heard me before, forgive me, but I'm going to say it again, and that is when I first got into voiceover, my strategy was a dollars per day strategy, and actually continues to be. Meaning, when I first got started, the question that I had was, how much do I need a day? $200 a day was what I needed, to cover the mortgage, car payments, feed my children, my wife, all, $200 a day. That was the goal. How I got those jobs, I really didn't much care. And what happened over that first year, I did a broad variety. I booked some national work and really great paying stuff. And I did a lot of small market radio stuff. It was a broad variety, but I was quickly able to meet my goal. What I've done since then is I've incrementally increased that goal, which has forced me. And so what my strategy was to keep my basket full of work. And then as my work became full, and I really didn't have room for more, I would begin to drop off the lower pay clients in place of higher pay clients. So that's how I built my business. So a broad variety. And even today, I've got some really good clients who've been with me for years who don't pay my top dollar. And that's okay, because I've got a relationship with them and it's appropriate. And so this is another point to keep in mind. One price does not work for all. Let me give you, for example, let's say you want to go shopping for a car. Would you pay the same price for, I'm going to say Ford Focus? They don't even make the Focus anymore, but it was like, or even better yet, what was that? The Ford Fiesta, like the smallest, cheapest car that they used to make. Would you pay the same price for that as you would for, let's say, the most expensive Mercedes-Benz that they make? No. Why? It's not the same product, and it's not the same service. Now, generally speaking, our product is going to be the same, regardless who we're working for, but the level of service doesn't have to be. In other words, the number of, retakes and the number of pickups, these are things, or how quickly it needs to be turned around. These are things that can be negotiated. Also, when it comes to voiceover, if, let's say, for instance, let me give you a contrasting scenario where you've got one client that is like maybe a small marketing agency for a small market or a radio station in a very small market, what they might want for a radio commercial versus for a national campaign for a major brand. Would it be appropriate to charge the same? No. Why is that? It's because what they can expect to receive for that, their ROI on that is going to be totally different because of their audience and the number of people they're reaching. So and I'll give you a personal example. Right now, one of my lowest paying clients is one of those small ad agencies in a small market, and they pay the same price to all their voiceover talent. They pay $25 a spot. And I occasionally get work from them, and I do it. Why? Number one, it's an appropriate price for what they're asking based on the market that they deal with. Two, I like them. I like working with them. Three, I am specifically skilled in that kind of stuff because I worked for 24 years in radio. I was a production director for many of those years. I have recorded thousands and thousands. I've written and recorded thousands and thousands of radio commercials. A 30-second radio commercial for me, I can knock out several takes of that and have it edited and out the door within 5 minutes. So for me, it's a short coffee break. It might be different for you. But the point is, those same rates do not apply to all my clients because all of those jobs are not created equally. Here's something that can lead to this, and that's a lack of confidence, especially if you're newer at this and you haven't established yourself. And by the way, when you're coming in, as a newbie, don't position yourself as a newbie. There's no reason. Never tell somebody you're new at this. I mean, if they ask you, don't lie to them. But, on your website or in your communication, don't talk about being new or you're learning. Don't make reference to who your coaches are on your website because what that says is that you're just learning how to do this. Don't do any of that. You treat yourself, carry yourself as if you have done this forever. Your website should look like you've done this forever. And you may say, well, Bill, I don't have all the credits that you have. I haven't worked for Disney or the PGA Tour or for John Deere. Well, no, it takes time to gather those. But here's what I always tell my students. Focus on what you have, not on what you don't have. So what? Say you don't have Disney. So what? You don't have McDonald's as a credit. Okay. Maybe you don't even have any major credit yet. That's okay. Make sure that you've got a killer demo on your website. And, if all you have is a demo and a way to contact you, that's enough. You can talk about your studio and your equipment. That can be a part of your website. You can talk about how you're dependable and easy to work with. Those are things that you can talk about, but don't position yourself and make it sound as if you're a brand new, cheap voiceover talent, because what you'll get the clients that are cheap. And when I mean cheap, I don't mean just they pay low. They think that way. They operate that way. And their expectations of you for the $5 they're paying for you will be as if you're doing a $500 or $5,000 job. And there are many of you I know that will testify to that. As a matter of fact, if you want to testify to that in the chat this morning, be sure to do that. If you haven't checked into the chat, let me know where you're listening from and what your first name is. We're going to go over those and do some shout outs here in just a bit. Learn about your clients' projects. Determine the appropriate price. And here's something to keep in mind. You can't negotiate your way up. If you come to the table already talking low price, you can't negotiate yourself up. You can always negotiate yourself down. And you don't have to take every job. You can pick the jobs that are offered to you. You can pick and choose the ones that you want. Now, what I like to do is I like to test the ceiling. So ever since the beginning of my career, I've incrementally increased my rates, and I'll quote, increasingly, quote higher until I start to consistently get resistance on that. And I'll know, because even the market changes. Sometimes, like right now, budgets are pretty tight. But I'll test the ceiling, and that's allowed me to increase my rates at the appropriate time with the appropriate clients. But don't think of yourself as a newbie. Don't think of yourself as a cheap talent. Remember, you can start higher and you can always negotiate down if you want to and if it's appropriate. Again, and I'll say this thing that I said up front, if you compete on price right out of the gate, what happens? It's a race to the bottom. And the better clients and their better paying jobs are happy to pay the appropriate rate to the right talent. They're happy to do it. So when you continue to work on your skills and you've got a great demo so that you attract the right people and you're competitive in your auditions, you will get those jobs. And the longer you do this, the more of those jobs that you will get. So think about that. So what if you were to take that approach today? Well, what's going to happen is you're going to get better clients and better pay, but you've got to start thinking and carrying yourself like a pro, even if you're brand new at this, right? Even if you're brand new at this. And again, if you want to talk some more about it, you can join us in my group at school.com/VoFlow. We would love to see you there. If you haven't checked in on the chat yet, make sure you do that on Instagram and on YouTube. And what was I knew this is, can't believe I almost forgot to say it. Subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, do that if you would. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and make sure you share it. Always appreciate that. Let's see here. We've got, is it Latherson or L. Atherson? Good to have you. Narab, the Shaolin disciple. Joyce, Jay Redden, what's going on? Good to see you all. Appreciate you being here. We've also got, looks like my YouTube's blowing up here. We've got John in Denver. What's up, John? Hey, Jolie, how's it going? Bonjour, Celeste. Good to see you in Newark, Delaware. GS, Longview, Washington. Sheila in Chicago. Kirk, what's happening? Hey, Nephi. Always good to see you on the live stream. Sarah, what's up? Good morning to you with a little sunshine emoji. I like that. I'll take all the sunshine I can get right now. I got to admit, my wife going to Waco, Texas right now, I'm more than a little bit envious and jealous, just a little bit. And if she comes back with a tan, I'll be really envious. I need some sunshine. Mojo Jeffries, what's going on in Indiana? Another chilly Indiana morning. Hey, Jim in Memphis, good to see you. Guys, thanks for checking in. I appreciate it. Remember, lowering your prices or competing on price is not going to get you to where you want to go. Again, there's an appropriate time for it based on the things that I talked about, and maybe you need to take a few minutes, go back and watch the video again. But you are a pro voiceover talent. So think of yourself that way, carry yourself that way. When it's appropriate to take the lower paid job because it's a client you can work with and you don't mind doing the work and it's appropriate for the kind of project you're doing, do it. I do it. I love it. I have no problem with that. But I'm also always making sure I'm competing for the bigger paid jobs too, which also come along. And that together makes for a very nice portfolio because quite honestly, the big paid jobs don't come along nearly as often as things like mid-tier and lower tier. So if you have a good strategy and you develop a good portfolio, you can really create a consistent income, a predictably consistent income, which is pretty cool. Oh, looks like we had some more folks check in. All right. Hey, guys, thanks for being here. Again, I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful day. If you haven't yet, join us in my group at school.com/VoFlow, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.